For the very first time, the president of Ukraine has given an interview to Russian media. Tank being hit with the rocket launcher on the streets of Mariupol, some apartments in Kharkov, Ukraine, theater in Mariupol, Ukraine, the result of bombings, civilian buildings in Kharkov, Ukraine. What's up, investors? It's the Russian Dude, and this is your Tuesday report on Russian-Ukrainian war. In this video, you can see Russian army using smoke bombs against protesters in Kherson, Ukraine. And these are the consequences of missile strikes in Chernigov, Ukraine. This is the way some civilian buildings in Kharkov, Ukraine look like. This video shows a little bit of military action of Ukrainian army after they're regaining the control of their city, Kiev. Since the beginning of military operation in Ukraine, for the very first time, the president of Ukraine has given an interview to Russian media. But the only ones which are allowed to take this interview are actually prohibited in Russia, and some of them are called extremist organization, which means that they are banned on the territory of Russia. And for those of you who has not watched this entire 90-minute interview, this is a quick summary. First of all, Zelensky mentioned that he is ready to accept neutral status of Ukraine for as long as Russian side can guarantee the safety of the country. The neutrality of Ukraine in this case means that Ukraine must not have nuclear weapons and must not join any allied blocs such as NATO. The second thing Zelensky mentioned is that Putin's requirements to demilitarize Ukraine and especially denazify Ukraine are not even being considered by Ukrainian side. Because first of all, he says that this is nonsense. We just don't have Nazis in Ukraine. The third thing Zelensky mentioned is that Ukraine probably will be ready to accept the status of Russian language as one of the official languages. And the fourth thing is that in order for Ukraine to even consider talking about Crimea and Donbas region, is that Russian army must leave the country of Ukraine through the same route they came into the country. Which basically means that Zelensky understands that it will be impossible to make Russian army completely leave the territory of Crimea and Donbas, but at least this is where they must be, not in any other Ukrainian city. And as soon as these requirements and compromises will be met, this is when Russia and Ukraine can start serious talks to end the war. And if you want to continue receiving such daily updates, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends or anywhere else you want. Thank you so much, and let's continue. A woman in Moscow was protesting the war on Ukraine by putting red paint on herself. And obviously, as you can imagine, she was detained. This is the way how some apartments in Kharkov, Ukraine look like after the artillery strikes. The president of the US, Joe Biden, left a message to the people of Ukraine on Twitter. He said, "We stand with you." Period. Some Ukrainians responded, "Thank you so much, Joe, for standing with us, but can you actually help us and send us some weapons?" Period. These are more videos from Kharkov, Ukraine. In many European cities, there are daily protests against the war, which obviously support Ukraine. These are unfortunately the most recent pictures from Mariupol, Ukraine. And these are the pictures from Irpin, Ukraine. In this video you can see some first-person military action in Ukraine amid gunshots. The Independent Republic of Lugansk, previously recognized by Russia, is ready to do a referendum, which basically means they're going to ask their residents whether they want to be a part of Russia. The new round of talks between Russia and Ukraine will happen in Istanbul, Turkey, March 29th and 30th. There are more people in Russia who protest the war, even individual protesters. And yes, obviously all of them are getting detained. Still, until today, every single day, marauders are being caught across Ukraine. Besides giving an interview to Russian media, the president of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, also did interview with some Western media, including The Economist. And as always, in case you did not have time to go through entire interview, here is a quick summary. First of all, he criticized the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, because he's doing nothing to assist Ukraine in this war. He said that they're simply afraid of Russia. Second, he was speaking positively about the Prime Minister of Ukraine, Boris Johnson. He commended them for assisting Ukraine and not trying to balance between Russia and Ukraine. And third, President Zelensky was speaking about Germany. He mentioned that Germany tries its best to stay as neutral as possible, because first of all, Germany has deep economic history with Russia. This map was presented by the Defense Intelligence of the United Kingdom, which states the current condition of the military operation of Russia on Ukraine. And as always, if you want more details, else, feel free to pause the video. This is the current condition of theater in Mariupol, Ukraine, which was previously bombed. It is now reported that Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich, who was previously selected by both Russia and Ukraine to represent their interest in negotiations, as well as some Ukrainian peace negotiators, suffered the symptoms of suspected poisoning earlier this March. As for now, no one died, so it begs the question, was this just a warning? In this video you can see a Russian tank being hit with the rocket launcher on the streets of Mariupol, Ukraine. Last week Russia mentioned that in response to Western sanctions it will start selling Russian gas for Russian rubles. After this announcement, many European countries said that this is a nonsense and they're not gonna buy Russian gas for Russian currency. And today the press secretary of Russia, Dmitry Peskov, mentioned that in case European countries are not ready to pay for gas with Russian rubles, Russia will simply shut down gas pipelines. Couple of weeks ago, this 22-year-old Russian woman threw a Molotov which didn't even break. And today she got sentenced to jail for 2 years. Russian currency ruble is getting stronger every day. Just a month ago it was approximately 140-150 rubles per $1, and today this is around 90 rubles. In this video you can see the civilian buildings in Kharkiv, Ukraine, which are on fire. Couple of days ago the president of the US, Joe Biden, mentioned that America will do everything possible to assist European countries to reduce its dependency on Russian energy sources. But just like with almost anything that Joe Biden says, these are just words and there is almost no action. Because now even some Western media is already questioning where would Joe Biden find the replacement for Russian gas and oil. In this video you can see the Russian army distributing humanitarian support in Independent Republic of Lugansk, previously recognized by Russia. According to the United Nations, approximately 3.8 million people have fled Ukraine, with the biggest destination being Poland, which received approximately 2.3 million refugees. In this video you can see some people from Latakia, Syria, who support the Russian army. This map shows current average gas prices across the US. Some European countries, such as Germany and Estonia, are planning to ban the use of Z markings, which you can find on Russian military vehicles and tanks. And the reason for banning this is because this is a symbol of hatred. In this video you can see a fire which is the result of bombings, which is being extinguished in Lutsk, Ukraine. This map shows whether European countries allow propagandistic TV channels from Russia. Countries which are highlighted in green, such as Poland and Ukraine, completely banned all propagandistic Russian TV channels. Countries that are in yellow and orange partially blocked such TV channels. And countries which are in red, such as for example Serbia and Norway, still allow all Russian propagandistic TV channels. Thank you so much for your attention, stay safe and see you tomorrow.